Good morning, Canada. Big news hit the housing market yesterday. The Bank of Canada slashed its policy rate by 25 basis points to 2.5%, the first cut in 6 months and the lowest in 3 years. With unemployment spiking to 7.1%, inflation easing, and US-Canada trade tensions looming, this rate cut is like a shot of adrenaline for the economy. Some are cheering, my mortgage payments are finally dropping. Others worry, will home prices skyrocket again? So, what does this mean for Canada's polarized housing market and your wallet? Let's break it down. How does the rate cut affect you? Floating rate mortgages. Instant savings. Floating rate mortgage holders are the big winners here. These loans are tied to the BOCE's policy rate, so the cut means immediate relief. August 2025 data shows a $20 to $30 monthly saving per $100,000 borrowed. For a typical $500,000 mortgage in Toronto or Vancouver, that's $100 to $150 less per month, enough for a nice dinner out. Fixed-rate mortgages, tied to long-term bond yields around 3.8% in August 2025, adjust more slowly. Only new or renewing loans will see lower rates. One homeowner said, "Wish I'd gone floating. This cut's a game changer." Boosted buying power. A window for first-timers? Lower rates mean lower monthly payments, boosting your borrowing power. TD Bank estimates this 25 basis point cut increases affordability by about 5%. For example, a $500,000 condo in Toronto saves $150 monthly, while a $400,000 unit in Vancouver saves $120, Remax data. First-time buyers are excited, with some saying, "I'm finally booking home viewings." But with Canada's housing market split between icy and red-hot regions, timing and location are everything. Housing market, a tale of two Canadas. Canada's housing market is more divided than ever. The Canadian Real Estate Association, CREA, reports a 2.3% year-over-year sales increase in August 2025, but growth comes from outside Toronto and Vancouver. RBC forecasts a 5 to 8% national transaction surge in Q4 2025, yet outcomes vary by city. Toronto and Vancouver, still out of reach. Toronto's market is frozen. 98% of neighborhoods sold below asking in August, condo sales plummeted 69%, and new project inventory would take 58 months to clear, with 55% of pre-construction condos unsold, CREA. Prices hit their lowest since April 2021. Vancouver's no better. August saw condo prices drop 4.4%, townhouses 3.5%, and detached homes 4.8% year-over-year, with declines accelerating from July. Average prices remain steep: $1,020,000 in Toronto, $1,150,000 in Vancouver. Remax predicts a 2 to 3% price dip in 2025, with no bottom in sight. High prices are driving residents away. Ontario lost 5,664 people and BC lost 2,357 in Q1 2025, the first quarterly population decline since 2020, Statistics Canada. A recent survey found 76% of immigrants can't afford housing and 26% plan to leave within 2 years. Enhanced radio broadcast script, GTA housing crisis. Good morning, Canada. You're listening to your Weekend Market Watch, and I'm bringing you breaking news that's sending shockwaves through living rooms across the Greater Toronto Area this Saturday morning, September 20th, 2025. It's 10:19 a.m. Eastern, and folks, we need to talk about what's happening to Canadian families right in our own backyard. Picture this. You wake up Saturday morning, coffee in hand, maybe scrolling through house listings like millions of us do. But hidden in those listings is a growing storm. The number of homes being ripped away from families through power of sale has exploded, and I mean exploded, by 59% from last year. We're talking 228 active distress listings as of early September, according to the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. The human story behind the numbers. Let me paint you a picture of what this really means. Robert Marsilio, a realtor who's been watching this unfold day by day, tells us he's tracking 228 power of sale listings. That's up from 143 last year. But here's the kicker. While overall inventory only grew 21%, distressed sales are racing ahead like a runaway freight train. John Flynn, another boots-on-the-ground realtor, has been crunching numbers that'll make your stomach drop. He estimates over 780 distressed properties scattered across the GTA. That's nearly 3% of every single listing out there. And here's where it gets personal, folks. We're not talking about investment properties in some distant downtown towers. These are condos, 28% of all distress cases, the homes that young families, first-time buyers, and working Canadians thought were their ticket to the dream. But wait, there's more heartbreak coming. Those shiny pre-construction units that developers promised would be gold mines? They're turning into financial quicksand. 55% remain unsold, with prices crashing 20 to 30% from their peaks. Imagine putting your life savings down on a dream home, only to watch it become a nightmare. The perfect storm, when life hits hard. So what's driving families to lose their homes? It's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm battering Canadian households from every direction. Those interest rates? They've been like a vice grip on family budgets until just yesterday, when the Bank of Canada finally cut rates to 2.5%. But for months, homeowners have been drowning in payments they simply can't afford. Then, unemployment struck like lightning, hitting 7.1% in August with 66,000 jobs vanishing overnight. These aren't just statistics, Canada. These are teachers wondering if they can keep their homes. Firefighters, the people who risk their lives for us, facing financial ruin. Medina Young, a law clerk at Fogler, Rubinoff, who's seen it all over 35 years, puts it bluntly, this is nonstop now. Most borrowers walk away with absolutely nothing. 70% used to get surplus money back. Now, nothing. Scott Theriault, who helps people navigate financial disasters, shared something that gave me chills. I'm seeing 10 meetings a day. Teachers, firefighters, regular working people, all over-leveraged on condos they thought were safe investments. A tale of two Canadas. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn, Canada. While Toronto families are losing their homes, just a few hundred kilometers away in Montreal, it's a completely different world. National home sales actually rose 2.3% in August, but that growth is skipping right over expensive cities like Toronto, where prices have tumbled back to 2021 levels. Meanwhile, Montreal is absolutely sizzling, sales up 12%, median home price sitting pretty at $633,250, up 7% and climbing. Head west to Calgary and you'll find balance, a benchmark price of $577,000 that working families can actually dream about reaching. The ripple effect, when homes become dominoes. The devastation doesn't stop with individual families, folks. When homes fall, they take everyone down with them. Homeowners face 7 long years, of credit damage. That's 7 years of being locked out of the very market that betrayed them. Investors, especially those who bet big on condo speculation, are watching their dreams evaporate. Lenders are hemorrhaging money. We're talking $200,000 losses per unit in some cases. The legal system? Completely overwhelmed. Lawyer Howard Reininger tells us court motions are booked solid until April 2026. Think about that. Families in crisis today might not see resolution for over a year and a half. And insolvencies? We're on pace to smash through 2024's already devastating 143,483 cases, racing toward the nightmare levels of 2009's 158,441 peak. Your survival guide. What you need to know right now. If you're listening in the GTA, here's your wake-up call. 60% of mortgages are coming up for renewal in 2025 to 2026, and they're likely renewing at higher rates than families can handle. Don't wait until you're drowning. Seek help now from insolvency experts like Theriault. Early action can mean the difference between financial recovery and complete ruin. For buyers still dreaming of homeownership, consider Montreal or Calgary. Lower prices, stronger growth, and markets that haven't completely lost their minds. Investors? Time to diversify away from Toronto's condo glut before it takes you down too. The light at the end of the tunnel. Yesterday's rate cut to 2.5% offers genuine hope, but let's be realistic. Supply is still lagging far behind demand. We need governments at every level to build, just like Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem keeps urging. Looking into the crystal ball, will this crisis rival the devastating 2008 financial meltdown? Scott Theriault doesn't mince words. Yes, if the debt unwinding continues. National prices might dip 1.5% this year according to True North Mortgage, but Montreal and Calgary could actually rise 3 to 5% in the fourth quarter. For Toronto, the pain isn't over. Experts predict another 2 to 3% drop coming. Your voice matters. So, Canada, I want to hear from you. Are you holding on to your property hoping for better times? Are you brave enough to buy in this chaos? Or are you packing up and heading to greener and more affordable pastures? Call our listener line, hit us up on social media, or send us your stories. Because this isn't just about numbers and market trends. This is about your life, your dreams, your family's future. Keep your radio tuned right here for continuing coverage of Canada's housing crisis. We'll be tracking every development, every rate change, every glimmer of hope or shadow of concern. This has been your Housing Market Reality Check, Canada. Don't let this crisis catch you off guard. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay hopeful.